Well, good morning, everybody, and a good day to all those that are listening to this throughout the day. We know things are starting to get back to normal when you are on the way to work at 7:30 and you start hearing the traffic report and there's backed up here and backed up there. I haven't heard that for a number of months. So another good sign, maybe not for those that are stuck in traffic, but those that are hearing the report is just one more thing getting back to normal or abnormal. Who knows? Who knows what's normal anyway? These days anyway. But before I share this very touching story, I want to remind everyone about the announcement I made yesterday that next week, that's June 23rd, 2020, 7:30 p.m. That's next Tuesday evening, is a special virtual Zoom event commemorating the yahrzeit of the Rebbe. Those of you who have been involved with our programs till now know that every year, on the day of the passing of the Rebbe, we make a central event in Philadelphia for all the local Chabad centers. But because of the COVID-19 gathering restrictions today, we will be doing this on Zoom, and that will be June 23rd, 2020. Now, you can go to the website. The website is 26minutes26voices.com. That's where the information is. We have different great speakers, interactive sessions, and as the website says, 26 voices, different people from different communities will be sharing their experiences. A very exciting program, along with some music and singing and song. So just mark down this website, mark down the date. From the comfort of your home, click on 26minutes26voices.com next Tuesday night. Our story is local. Our story is with a Rebbitzin. Our story is with a Chabad house couple right across the river in New Jersey, Rabbi and Mrs. Hershey and Frady Loshak, who are the Chabad representatives in Rowan University. Now, my dear friends, as we talk about the work of the Rebbe and we approach his yahrzeit, the gift that the Rebbe has left the Jewish community, although the Rebbe has passed on in a physical sense 26 years ago, but the impact and the influence through his ambassadors, the shluchim and the shluchot, continues to grow. And it doesn't just grow in a very dramatic way. You have different rabbis will give you different great stories of miracles that has happened. The miracles that consistently happen are the one-on-one stories, and the small impact that, as we'll see, it turns into a huge impact in people's lives. This happened not long ago, I think about 5 years ago. It was right before the high holidays, and Rabbi and Mrs. Loshak, we'll call them Hershey and Frady, were at a family wedding in Florida. And they had a beautiful wedding. They enjoyed themselves. Everything was going fine until they had to fly back home. Now, when you fly back home from a family party, it's always it's a downer. But when you get to the airport and you realize that the flight is delayed and it's the evening, it gets a little stressful. Add to that, it's a young Chabad family. They have a nice growing family. And you have 3 children under the age of 4 late in the evening at an airport, and the flight is delayed a couple hours. Imagine that scene. Then imagine as the time goes on, it's delayed not just a couple hours, but a few more hours. Now it's really getting stressful. And imagine when you hear that it's not going to go off, the plane isn't even going to leave till midnight, and you thought that you're going to have a 5 o'clock flight, and you're at the airport with 3 little kids under the age of 4. Now, Rabbi and Mrs. Loshak had another issue, and this is that it was Thursday, and they host many college students, as any Chabad house on campus does, for Friday night meal. Not only was it Thursday, and Mrs. Loshak and Rabbi Loshak had to prepare for Friday night meal, but it was right before Rosh Hashanah, and they had to do all the shopping and preparations that evening because Rosh Hashanah was right after Shabbat. And Mrs. Loshak was planning to get back early enough to go on a late Thursday night run at Costco, get it all done, and then her and the rabbi would roll up their sleeves and get the food ready. But They're stuck at the airport with 3 little kids under the age of 4. Now, what are they going to do? And it's getting late. And the Rebbitzin is really desperate. What is she going to do? So what she does is she gets on her iPhone and starts to WhatsApp and text and reach any student that she can get that maybe they can do the shopping. And she wasn't successful. Everyone had a different reason. Until she was really desperate. What's going to happen? Now, imagine, this is like 9:30, 3 kids under the age of 4, delayed flight. You have all these things you got to do. And finally, she gets a text from a young woman, Sarah, who was a sophomore in college. And Sarah responded, I'll help you out. She gave her the list. She went shopping. And you can imagine Mrs. Loshak was relieved, relaxed. Now that was taken care of, she can focus to the issue at hand. Well, it wasn't until 1 o'clock that they actually left Florida. Imagine what's going on. But she was relieved. Shopping was getting done. But when she landed, she opened up her WhatsApp. And she sees this message from Sarah. And Sarah writes, Frady, I want to thank you for calling me today and giving me the chance to help out and do a mitzvah. Wow, that was great. She was able to, the girl not only helped out, but she was thankful for helping out. But wait to the rest of the story. And she continues, I am not sure if you know, Sarah writes to Frady, the Rebbitzin, the Shlucha, says, I'm not sure you know, but today is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Day. It's a very difficult day for me, and I'm quoting her, because I have made suicide attempts in the past, even just recently. Just today, on this Suicide Prevention Day, I was asking myself, should I even be here? By allowing me to do a mitzvah today, she continues to write, I was able to understand that God has a purpose for me and I am meant to be here. Wow. Let me just read that again. This is a girl who is considering suicide many times, even as of today. And then she says, by allowing me to do a mitzvah today, I was able to understand that God has a purpose for me and that I am meant to be here. Could you imagine what was going through Frady, the Rebbitzins' mind at that point? All those delayed hours, everything that God was orchestrating in Florida, all the stress that she was going through, the delay of the flight, the continuous delay of the flight, to get Frady to the edge so that she can reach out to Sarah and Sarah can respond and find meaning in life and calm her down. God was making things happen that at the moment she never knew about. What Frady knew is it's very stressful. Why is this happening to me? 3 kids under the age of 4. I got to do shopping. I want to do a mitzvah. I don't want to shop for myself. I want to help students. Why is God putting this obstacle in my way? Luckily, Frady was able to find out why. Because all that meant to lead for Sarah to do a mitzvah. And Sarah, what was going through her mind all day? All day things were going through her mind to lead her to receive that text and find a reason and purpose in life. See, my friends, everything that happens in our life, we never see the big picture. Sometimes we're fortunate to see the big picture, but we don't always see it. But let us never forget that even though we don't see the big picture, there is always a big picture. And things that happen in our life, we need to embrace. Even negative thoughts, even negative ideas may lead us to a space that will bring us to positive action and positive things. So if something happens today in your life, my dear friends, don't get down. Don't feel dejected. If you're sitting alone in your home today and for some reason things aren't happening, don't feel down about it. I mean, obviously you will, but lift yourself up. Remind yourself that there's someone behind everything that happens, orchestrating things for the better of someone else and for the betterment of yourself. Hopefully, in a short while, you'll see why this happened. But even if you don't, keep having the understanding and the faith that when you move from one step to the other, when you look at something as a beginning of something else, you will feel uplifted and hopefully find purpose and meaning in everything that you do. I hope that this story touches you the way it touched me, because when we learn this lesson, we see this lesson, it's not just easier to get through the day, it's exciting to get through the day. Because even when I don't see the dots being connected, I know they are. My dear friends, I want to wish you a happy, meaningful day. I want to remind you again about the event next Tuesday. But before next Tuesday, there's still a Thursday, a Friday, and a Shabbos. And I hope to see you tomorrow as we conclude our journey of the 12 big ideas with a very powerful message that really feeds into what we just discussed as well, but takes us so much deeper. Deep, maybe difficult to digest, but I don't think you'll regret hearing it. Have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure interacting with you over these last few minutes. And I hope, as I said before, that this story brings you light, cheer, and purpose and meaning. Have a great day.